Hello everyone. At school we all learned that the Mariana Trench is the deepest place on Earth. At its bottom, the pressure is more than 1,000 times higher than normal atmospheric pressure. So the obvious question is, what kind of life could possibly survive almost 11 kilometers below the surface? And yet, life is there. For decades, it has continued to unsettle researchers with how little we still understand about it. Today, we'll look at some of the most unusual inhabitants of the Mariana Trench. Let's begin. To understand these creatures, we first need to understand their environment. No sunlight reaches these depths. It's complete, permanent darkness. Temperatures are near freezing, but the main factor is pressure. Thousands of tons of water pressing down from above. Most deep-sea organisms would die instantly if brought to the surface. Their bodies are built for conditions that exist nowhere else on the planet. As for humans, this is one of the reasons the deep ocean is still explored less than space. Just imagine how much is still hidden down there. You've almost certainly seen images of it, the anglerfish. Despite how famous it is, real photographs are rare. It lives at depths that are extremely difficult to reach. Its name comes from the glowing fishing rod on its head. That light isn't magic. It's produced by bacteria living inside a special gland. The fish can control the glow. When blood flow increases, the light grows brighter. When it decreases, the glow fades or disappears entirely. When prey gets close, the anglerfish strikes instantly, pulling it in with a powerful suction. Add to that a massive mouth, needle-sharp teeth, and a body that looks barely formed. There's also a dramatic size difference between sexes. Females can grow up to 1 meter long. Males are often no bigger than 4 centimeters. In many cases, the male attaches himself to the female and slowly becomes part of her body. Female anglerfish are extremely aggressive hunters. They can swallow prey larger than themselves. Sometimes that greed doesn't end well. At a glance, these animals are easy to mistake for jellyfish. Sea cucumbers crawl slowly along the ocean floor, including the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Some researchers believe one of them was the very first creature seen during the famous 1960 expedition. They may look harmless, but they have an unusual defense. When threatened, they can eject toxic substances through their intestines. Even more strangely, some species can act as living shelters. Other organisms actually live inside them. In parts of Asia, sea cucumbers are used in food and cosmetics, but those are farm species, not the ones living in the deep Pacific. At first glance, this hermit crab looks ordinary, but look closer. Instead of hiding inside an empty shell, it carries a living anemone-like coral polyp on its back. This organism functions as armor, a soft, flexible shield that replaces the traditional shell. To keep it in place, the crab uses a pair of its legs constantly. This gives the impression that it has fewer legs than normal. Its movement is unsettling, low, deliberate, almost spider-like. It crawls rather than walks, adapting perfectly to the uneven terrain of the deep-sea floor. It's a reminder that in extreme environments, survival often depends on cooperation, even between very different species. At a depth of nearly 4,000 meters, cameras captured footage of a glowing, spherical jellyfish unlike anything seen before. Its body pulsed with light, shifting colors in the darkness. Researchers believe this creature is a predator. The rhythmic bioluminescence may serve to confuse or attract prey. Its tentacles are structured for capturing smaller organisms drifting nearby. Inside its translucent body, yellow and red internal structures are visible. Some scientists believe these may be reproductive and digestive organs, though much remains unknown. Even today, this jellyfish is more mystery than species. Megalodocopia doesn't look threatening. In fact, at first glance, it appears passive, but looks deceive. Unlike its filter-feeding relatives, this creature hunts. Its massive mouth opens wide, capturing crustaceans and zooplankton drifting past. Some scientists believe Megalodocopia may be incredibly ancient, possibly dating back more than 550 million years. What fuels this theory is its unusual anatomy. It appears to possess both a brain and spinal structures, rare for its group. Even stranger, once it attaches itself to a surface and stops moving, its brain may begin to degenerate. In the deep ocean, even intelligence can be optional. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron descended alone to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Beyond the historic achievement, the expedition brought new discoveries. Among them were deep-sea enteroneusts, worm-like organisms also known as gut breathers. Some of these creatures reach lengths of over 2 meters. They are vividly colored, far more so than their shallow water relatives. Most surprisingly, they can swim. Wing-like folds along their bodies allow them to glide gracefully through the water, traveling long distances above the seafloor. Even in the abyss, movement can be elegant. The grenadier is a fish with bulging eyes that can grow up to 1 meter long. It usually lives slightly above the seabed, slowly swimming along in search of prey. For defense, it can use a special chemical compound with a sharp smell. Grenadiers are also considered long-lived fish. Their age can reach 70 years. In some countries, they're even valued in cooking. Connoisseurs claim that in taste they can beat even top-grade Atlantic cod. But here's an important detail. That applies mainly to the less deep-water individuals. The deeper the fish lives, the stronger its fishy smell becomes. This is due to trimethylamine oxide, a compound that helps fish survive extreme pressure. So eating a grenadier caught from the very bottom of the Mariana Trench isn't the best idea. These creatures look like enormous shrimp, but they're something else entirely. Amphipods grow larger the deeper they live. In the Mariana Trench, some species exceed 30 centimeters in length. Their shallow water relatives rarely reach 1 centimeter. The pressure that crushes most life seems to fuel their growth. They are scavengers, feeding on whatever organic matter sinks to the bottom, including the remains of larger animals. Nothing goes to waste down here. This is considered one of the deepest living fish ever found by humans. Researchers discovered it about 5 years before the narration, in the Mariana Trench at a depth of more than 8,000 meters. It was an unknown variety of sea snail fish with a transparent body, wing-like fins, and an eel-like tail. Because of its appearance, it's often called a ghost, and some people say it resembles a dragon from the classic children's film, The Never-Ending Story. For a deep-sea creature, it's surprisingly cute. This creature, known as a chimera or ghost shark, has lived in the ocean's multi-kilometer depths for around 400 million years, but humans rarely encounter it. It isn't as enormous as ancient predators like Megalodon, but it definitely scares off enemies with its alien look. The name chimera comes from ancient times because in Greek mythology there was a monster made of parts from different animals. When ancient Greeks first saw this strange fish, they assumed its body looked like a mix of other creatures, so the name stuck. Meet one of the creepiest and rarest inhabitants of Mariana Trench depths. This species is still very poorly studied, mainly because its habitat is so difficult to reach. According to scientists' estimates, it can live around 30 to 40 years. The viperfish avoids direct sunlight. In daytime, it sinks as deep as possible, while at night the chance of encountering it in shallower waters increases. Its key feature is its terrifying teeth, long fang-like spikes that jut out from the mouth and stay visible all the time. With them, the viperfish hunts neighbors like dragonfish and other smaller creatures. And of course, it also uses those fangs to scare off anything that might try to mess with it. The Mariana Trench is not empty, it is not silent, and it is far from lifeless. It is a world shaped by pressure, darkness, and time, and we've only just begun to understand it.